Should a major power stand firm when another nation decides to provoke it in open waters? Before we continue, subscribe if you believe the United States was right not to alter course in the face of the Venezuelan maneuver, and comment if you think this action could have ignited a crisis that no one acknowledges today, yet everyone fears. What you're about to see is one of the tensest naval encounters in recent years. A U.S. aircraft carrier, 3 Venezuelan patrol ships, and a maneuver so risky that a single mistake could have changed everything. Stay, because this story reveals more than it seems. Dawn, December 11th, 2025, 6:14 a.m. 3 Venezuelan patrol vessels move north like blades cutting through calm water. The white wakes they leave behind seem to slice the sunrise in two. Their course is no accident. They are heading directly toward a moving wall of gray steel, the USS Gerald R. accompanied by its entire carrier group. For the U.S. Navy, this passage is just another routine transit toward the Caribbean. For Venezuela, it is an opportunity to send a message. Inside the Venezuelan Naval Command Center, a short but forceful order echoes through the speakers. Reduce distance. Show presence. The Guaicamacuto-class ships, CG-23, CG-24, and CG-25, accelerate past 28 knots. From the air, their formation resembles a scalpel aimed with surgical precision at the carrier's track. This isn't an escort, it's a demonstration. On the Gerald R. Ford's bridge, the first officer steps towards the windows. Through the pink morning haze, 3 elongated silhouettes rise from the horizon, tiny compared to the 1,000-foot flight deck, but fast enough to demand attention. Around him, sailors maintain the professional calm that routine enforces, though their eyes remain sharply focused. Just one day earlier, Venezuela had canceled a massive energy project with Trinidad and Tobago, blaming Washington for direct interference. Now, its navy seemed determined to prove that the message was not merely diplomatic, it was maritime. The Ford maintained steady course. Every mile decreases the distance between systems, flags, and decisions that could change everything. Venezuela demands to be seen. The United States refuses to look away. Between these two positions lies the precise moment when a political gesture can turn into a genuine military risk. 6:18 a.m. The Venezuelan vessels fan out like a curved blade, spreading across the Caribbean to pressure the carrier group from the south. Aboard the Ford, every station is fully active. The first rays of sunlight strike the bridge windows, illuminating a sea shimmering in golden tones. Inside the Combat Direction Center, screens show red markers approaching at high speed. But here, it isn't just about technology, it's about intent. The USS Gravely, one of the main escorts, moves ahead to assume a protective posture. Its turbines awaken with a deep growl, kicking up foamy white water. Its mission: keep the carrier safe without falling into provocation. Steady contact, announces the Surface Watch officer. Bearing 190, range 8.4 nautical miles. Copy, replies the captain. Maintain intercept posture. Eyes on. On deck, crew members momentarily pause their tasks. The Venezuelan hulls are now clearly visible, flags snapping in the wind, 76mm guns reflecting the early light. No one wants an incident. No one can afford to back down. Venezuela calls this area the Bolivarian Security Zone, a maritime boundary unrecognized by any other nation. For them, crossing it means confrontation. For the United States, it is simply international waters. Radio operators transmit the standard warning. Venezuelan Navy vessels, this is a United States warship operating in international waters. Maintain a safe distance. Silence follows. Only the hum of engines remains. 6:22 a.m. From the Gravely's bridge, the officer of the deck studies the horizon. 3 wakes approach without deviating a single degree. This is not coincidence. This is coordination. They continue holding speed, reports the combat station. CPA below 6 miles. Understood. Log everything, the captain orders. In the Combat Information Center, screens shift between daylight cameras and infrared imagery captured by a Seahawk helicopter providing aerial overwatch. At 600 feet, its thermal sensors detect the hot signatures of the Venezuelan engines, advancing without hesitation. 6:25 a.m. A firm announcement echoes through the Ford. Condition 3. Maintain readiness. Deck activity becomes a choreographed movement. No running, no shouting. Every sailor understands what it means to have another vessel so close at sea. A silent negotiation made of steel and maneuvering. The lead Venezuelan ship adjusts slightly, aligning with the Ford's bow. From above, it appears to be the prelude to a dangerous crossing. In less than 2 minutes, they will be inside the carrier's security perimeter. 6:27 a.m. The CG-23 breaks formation, advancing like a determined shark, pointing directly at the Gerald R. Ford's flank. The other 2 vessels remain behind, forming a wedge that increases tactical pressure. In the Gravely, officers watch the scene unfold in real time. This is no longer diplomacy. It is intentional maneuvering. Contact closing fast. Range 5.1 miles, reports the information center. Copy, says the captain. Maintain course. The Seahawk swoops low, exerting presence without firing a shot. Then the radio erupts. United States warship, you are entering the Bolivarian security zone. Alter your course immediately. The US reply is calm and bilingual. Negative. We are operating lawfully in international waters. We recommend maintaining safe separation. Silence follows once more. The Ford holds steady at 20 knots, heading 217. The Gravely shifts position to place itself between the carrier and the Venezuelan track like a moving shield. Tension thickens. 900 yards, 700 yards, 500 yards. 2 nations not at war, navigating close enough for sailors to see each other's expressions. For 5 agonizing seconds, both ships surge forward side by side, throwing up walls of foam. Then the Venezuelan vessel throttles back. Its bow dips and shifts off the collision line. The Gravely maintains course. The carrier resumes partial deck operations. No shots fired, but a message delivered. The kind of message recorded in every frame of video and every morning report. 6:36 a.m. The sea seems to hold its breath. Both formations drift in a tense equilibrium, neither approaching nor retreating fully. Aboard the Ford, the stillness feels heavy, strategic. Inside the Gravely's command center, operators track the 3 contacts at 2.4 miles. Above them, the Seahawk circles, transmitting thermal and optical imagery to the Pentagon. The radio crackles again. United States warship, you have been warned. You are in restricted waters. The response is steady. Negative. We are operating in accordance with international law. Maintain separation. The Venezuelan lead ship shifts its rudder, crossing again in front of the Gravely. A gesture partly defiant, partly a withdrawal. Slowly, the 3 vessels relax into a looser formation and drift south. Contacts turning away, reports Tactical Watch. Maintain course. Do not pursue, the captain responds. 6:39 a.m. The Gravely's engines return to cruising speed. The familiar sound of waves resumes. On the carrier, the commander watches as the Venezuelan ships shrink in the aerial feed. They're pulling back, says the operations officer. Good, let's keep it that way, replies the commander. The Seahawk begins its return. The immediate threat fades, but the memory remains. 6:42 a.m. The last Venezuelan hull disappears beyond the horizon. The sea appears calm again, though everyone knows calm is not safety. 3 hours later, the Ford continues its route. Inside the Combat Direction Center, footage replays repeatedly for analysis. Across the sea, Venezuela moves quickly. State television broadcasts shaky clips of the encounter, portraying it as a victory and claiming the carrier was forced to withdraw. It wasn't. But political narratives often outrun truth. In Washington, the Navy issues a concise statement. The USS Gerald R. Ford, Carrier Strike Group, conducted routine operations in international waters consistent with international law. No drama, no excess, just firmness. The incident becomes another entry in the growing catalog of gray zone encounters, provocations designed to gain visibility without triggering war. Venezuela never intended to fire. The United States never intended to yield. The objective was visibility, pressure, narrative. By noon, satellite images show the Venezuelan ships returning to base. Aboard the Ford, The final log entry reads, "No aggression. Mission continues." But no one mistakes the day for routine. It was a dangerous choreography, rehearsed, calculated, and seconds from disaster. 6 p.m. The Caribbean returns to its postcard, calm. Orange sky, blue sea, and the steady hum of the Ford's turbines pushing eastward. To the world, nothing happened today. To those who were there, it was a reminder of how thin the line is between peace and crisis. No missiles, no gunfire, just steel and silence. But a single misinterpreted move could have rewritten history. And so ends one of the tensest naval episodes in recent years. No shots, but something far more dangerous. The certainty that a single mistake could have unleashed an international crisis within seconds. Now the question is unavoidable. Was it Venezuela that crossed the line? Or was it the United States that refused to yield even an inch, knowing what was at stake? I want you to decide. Tell me in the comments who acted more responsibly and who came closest to provoking a disaster. This debate matters more than it seems. Subscribe, activate the bell, and stay ready. Because in a world where tensions hide behind routine, what comes over the horizon can always be more intense than what we leave behind.